All right, folks. What we got here is a 2020 Nissan Pathfinder SL four-wheel drive. There's a Rock Creek version. I don't know what the difference is, but it's pretty cool. All right. 14 millimeters and 19 millimeter sockets are what you need, and open end wrenches, and I'll show you why. All right. These are 14 millimeters for the caliper bolts. Take them off, put it on the side. If you're going to notice, the bottom one is not going to come out because it's hitting the suspension trailing arm. Okay, so you can't get that one off. You can loosen it up, pull it as far back as you can. That's what we're going to have to do. Then we're going to have to take a little screwdriver in here, and we're going to pry that caliper and make it tilt. Once we make it tilt, then we're able to access the 19 millimeter bolts in the back for the caliper. All right, so let's pry this open. And we're just going to peel this back a little bit, and this is what you're going to see. All right, brake pads are shot. They're down to the metal. That's why there's a grinding noise on it. But yeah, so now that it's off here, you still can't get it out. So I'm going to let that hang for a little bit. Then in the back here, there is two 19 millimeter bolts. And that will take the caliper off with it. Once the caliper comes off, then you're able to slide the caliper off its bracket. Okay? Once you take the bracket off. Okay, so we're going to do that. Let's do the 19. All right. All right, from back here, like I said, a ratchet and wrench is going to be your best friend. You can't put a ratchet in here because of the trailing arm. So you crack it open with a 19 wrench. Then you use your 19 ratcheting wrench. And just spin that all the way off as much as you can. A little tedious. It's part of his first brake job. So everything's on there pretty good. Ugh. Seems like forever. All right. So one bolt has a lock washer. No, just a flat washer, actually. So now I'm going to put that back on. Of course, the top, you don't have to use a ratchet and wrench if you use a regular ratchet. But since the tool is already in my hand, might as well use it. Same thing. Why switch over? All right. So once that comes off, this whole bracket assembly is going to slide right out. See it? And once it slides right out, you'll be able to take this bolt off. Okay? Oops. Take this bolt off. There's your caliper away from your caliper bracket. All right. Put the caliper up there. I'm going to take the bracket out of the way. Put it down on the ground. All right. Like I said, came right off. 2 bolts. Don't forget the washers. These are your brackets. All right. Now what we're going to do here is, don't forget to change the clips on these. Gonna knock these pads out. Fell apart already. This one has nothing left to it. This one has something to it. Just to wash off that bolt. Save it, put it up where you're going to remember it. All right. These clips are going to all come out. Okay, because you're going to put new ones on. Hopefully you bought the good brake pads that come with the clips and the hardware. All right. Going to pry it with a little screwdriver to get them out. Okay, they're going to wire brush them, clean them up. What do you want to do? What else we got to do? Let's break the rotor off. Okay, rotor's already shot. I'll show you two in the back. So what we're going to do here is, we're going to give it a nice sledge and we're going to whack it. When we whack it, it's going to come right off. So let's move everything out of the way. Give myself some room here. There's no screws holding it. So it's basically just on there. Watch out for the dust. Don't forget, you have to transfer this little plug over there for your new ones, okay? There's your rotor, that's shot. Think it's shot? Oh yeah, that's shot. All right. Spray this up with brake cleaner over there around. Wire brush everything. I'm gonna go get that rotor, clean that off too. All right, so we're gonna do. And there you go. AutoZone brake cleaner. Stuff is great. Spray it on there, let it dry. Take my rotor. Don't forget, you got to clean the rotor too with the oil. Get the oil out, the shipping oil that comes with it so it doesn't rust. You need to do that. Don't touch the surface with your hands, whatever you do. All right, that's in there. That's ready to go. Now I'm going to work on the bracket. All right, like I said, we're going to pop the hardware off of it and wire brush it. That's what we're going to do. All right, here we go with the brackets and the hardware. All right, I'm going to snap these things off. One on each side. Okay. Then what you want to do is you want to clean up this interior surface here so that the new clips would be sitting on nice clean metal and not rust and dirt. Because rust and dirt, it sits on it. What happens is that the clip is going to be a little higher than it's supposed to. That might give you a little binding with the brake pads when they're sliding from one side to the other. So if you want, just polish it all around a little bit. Hit it with a little brake cleaner. All right, there you go. The other thing is you want to check to make sure these pins are nice and smooth, that they go in and out, okay, on both sides. I'm gonna find the boot. Must have lost the boot. It's somewhere. We'll find it. Maybe it's on the caliper. All right, so that's it. That's it. We did that. Did that. Let's go hit it with some brake cleaner. I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit. Open up our new box of pads to come with the hardware. Forgot how many hardwares they give you. I guess there's different models. That's why there's so many. All right, let's try to figure out which one is which. Okay. All right, so we're trying to decipher the clips and what the difference is. Difference is the opening for the rotor. Okay, see this? Where the rotor sits on? Right here. This is smaller. These are larger. So the ones we have are the larger ones. So these are going to be chucked. Not to be confused with anything. I found the boot, by the way. There's old brake pad. Look how thin it is. It's almost down to the metal. And this one is down to the metal. Nothing left. So put that away with that. Put that away with that. I'm going to take my little boot. Throw it back in here. Okay. And then we're going to put our hardware on. All right. I'm going to snap this hardware on. It should only go one way. They got the little ends over here that fit right in that slot. So it can't be too far off to the side. Fits right in the middle. Okay, same thing with this side. Put it in here like this. See how nice it goes in when it's all nice and clean. This is garbage, this is garbage, this is garbage. I like to clean up after myself after you do something. You're not working in a mess. Let's save the other two clips for the other side. And now, let's see if we can decipher the brake shoes, the brake pads. Let's save that. Save that. All right. Let's see what we got here, folks. Let's see what we got here. All right. That's for the brake pads. Okay. The inside one has a little sensor, right? It only goes one way. It's the same one. If you grab the wrong one, then it's facing the other way. Okay. You don't want that one. Okay. So that means this is the other side. So match up your old brake pads to the new ones and put them in just the way it is. So now what we're going to do now is we're going to put the bracket on, but we got to put the caliper onto the bracket with that bolt, remember? So the caliper with the bolt onto the lower caliper bracket and then attach the bracket on. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to push that caliper piston in. Some of you folks have a go-to tool that you use. This is mine. Sitting there off to the side. I'm going to squeeze the piston in. Look how easy it goes in. Just watch the boot. Okay. The boot should fold in nice and easy. If not, get a little blunt screwdriver in there and just push it in. Okay, you want that boot to fold in nicely. See, I'm pushing it in a little bit. It'll go in. There's a little air in there. Then I'll come out. Push it all the way in. Can't go no more. That's it. Perfect there. Just gonna push it in a little bit more. All right, you want to get all the air in there, out of it. You want to clean the surface over here with a wire brush. And we'll put some brake lube on there. All right. Go get that little boot. See the boot? See how it folds? Out. Okay, we got to get it back in because it was all the way out. All the way out, the boot kind of extended itself. So I'm going to push it in. And we're going to get that little boot to sit in nicely. There you go. See that? Sits in there nicely. I'm going to get the bracket. Okay. Goes in one way, like this. Okay. Then the caliper is going to go one way, like this. So we have to assemble this bolt. Remember that funny bolt? So I get the bolt, stick it through here. I'm going to stick it through here. Just like that. Dun, dun, dun. Come on. It's a little easier if I'm trying to stay out of the camera view so you guys can see it. But yeah, so I assemble this whole assembly here. This is going to go in like this, like that. Put the 19 millimeter bolts in there. And then I'm going to put this up with the brake pads and lock it in. So what we're going to do here is now, we're going to find our 19 millimeter bolts. Give a little shake, rattle, and roll, just to line it up. See, remember, we couldn't get these bolts out because it hits the suspension rod. So once we tighten up the caliper, we'll put our disc brake pads on. We'll flip this over. And we'll put the boot on there. And you're done. All right. Don't forget, you got to get some brake lube. It did not come with the gold package. I think if you buy the elite pads, it probably will. All right. Let me go get some stuff. All right. So the bracket's on. Took it to specs. I'm going to use my brake lube. What I do with this is I put some on this side. Put some on this side for the noise. And I put some on the piston. There you go. So now we'll have to put the brake pads on. Don't forget to wipe your hands. Any of this stuff getting on the brake pads or the rotors. Okay. The one with the sensor goes on the inside. Okay. The one on the outside It's the plain Jane one. See how nice one is with nice new hardware? That is just going to flip over and attach itself. Push the little rubber boot in. You want to go right in here. All right. Oh, sorry. All right, so we're just going to tighten up these guys. All right. As it goes in. And this is what they mean by sliding caliper. See, the brake pads will slide on those nice little clips, those guides. All right, it'll be going in and out. So when you step on the brakes, it pushes the outside piston out, which creates a force and makes the caliper go this way. So it squeezes it together, almost like a bicycle brake. You know how they squeeze the brake? Same thing here. Okay, except you're not using two things to squeeze. You're only going to use one. So it's very important that this thing has to slide. So when you push it out, the force moves this one in and it squeezes it together. Okay? And that's it, people. Right? I'm going to drag you along to tighten up this. But yeah, you tighten this up. All right? Get the torque specs for that. And run inside and get that. I should have got that when I got the other one. But you know what I mean. All right, this one's going to tighten up. Make sure you got the boot right there. This doesn't work there. Remember I told you? So this is where you have to get your 14 ratchet wrench. I'm telling you, what a great invention. Don't get me wrong, Craftsman had it years ago, but it was so bulky. So bulky. And then they had this. I'm not an inventor. Believe me, I tried to figure out a way of doing it. And Gear Wrench came out with the first one. They did a great job. All right. We'll talk at the specs, and then we're good. Then it's time to do the other side. All right. That is exactly what it is in a nutshell, people. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.